Hi Stampers. Today I wanted to share a double embossed technique with you. I did this in a class a couple of weeks ago and I just really love the effect of it. It's using the Cuttlebug embossing folders or any embossing folders. Just plain white cardstock and Versamark ink and then an embossing powder. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to pick out an embossing folder, and I have the paisley, or floral paisley I think it's called, or folder, and you're also going to need a brayer. And I've opened the folder, and what you want to do is ink up the brayer with the Versamark ink. Just ink up your brayer, and then you want to brayer the ink onto the side of the embossing folder that has the name on it, the Cuttlebug name on it. That's the front of the embossing folder. So go ahead and just put down your ink and go ahead and brayer it both ways so you make sure you get a good coverage. And it does help if you've got a good well-inked Versamark. It works better that way. And then you're taking your white cardstock and just putting it in your folder and then running it through your Cuttlebug. And you're running it through the same way between your two B plates. So then when you take your folder out, your Versamark ink is where your folder pressed into the paper. So then I chose for this one key lime embossing powders. But as you know, Sparkle and Sprinkle has over 200 embossing powders, so you can get real creative with the different colors of embossing powders here. So I'm just going to cover my cardstock with the embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat it. I'm going to tap off any excess, and then I'm going to heat it. Okay, and then when you're done embossing it, you want to use a dye ink. I'm using the Memento Tangelo now for this, and get creative with your colors. I'm using a sponge dauber then and just inking it up and going over the white cardstock, and the embossing powder is going to resist the ink, and you can put on just a little bit of color if you want to, or you can put on more color and make it more intense. That's kind of what is neat about this is instead of just using a colored cardstock, when you use the white and you add the ink, you can add the different darknesses of the ink, which just adds to the texture of your end result. And again, be creative with your colors. It looks good if you have contrasting colors, but it would also work well with monochromatic colors if you have like a light shade and then a darker shade. And then when you're done applying your ink, you want to use a paper towel and just kind of go back over your cardstock and buff it. It wipes off all the excess ink that remained on the embossing powder. So just buff that up, and then you've got a beautiful double embossed background paper for your card creation. And here is a sample of what I did with that panel then. I just cut it into 1 inch by 5 1/4 inch strips, and then mounted it on the green and put them on my white card base. There's a couple other samples on the website of different combinations that I've done. I'll go ahead and put the recipes on there for those, and also some other card ideas. So give it a try, you'll enjoy it, and happy stamping!